Yes, every time you hear those tunes, that means it's another episode 5 of the Local Lifestyle Podcast with me, Cuervo, all brought to you by TLC Properties. And today I have a very special co-host with me. It's somebody I've known for a little bit, in and out of radio, and it's a name you may know as well here in the Springfield area. Rob Blevins. How you doing, bud?
Hey, man, doing great. I was just thinking, well-known name. I've done a lot of radio, and I've never had a radio name.
You've never had a radio name?
Kind of disappointing. I've never been host of anything or a DJ or anything like that. But I think Robbie B.
I like that
DJ
one.
DJ Robbie B.
DJ Robbie B. I like
from here on out on the podcast.
Yes. And then when I see you in the streets, I'm going to scream Robbie B.
That's awesome. From 6 feet away, though. 6 feet.
Of course. I would never want to be too close.
No,
so,
never.
Rob, thank you very much for taking some time out of your day. A little bit about yourself. I know you from when you were doing Boys and Girls Club, when I used to work at the radio station. I'd seen you out of the halls. And now the position you currently hold is Executive Director of the Discovery Center here in Springfield, Missouri.
Correct. I also added, on my LinkedIn and whatnot, Emergency Child Care Center Director. So there we go. I got 2 titles. Yeah.
So give me a quick background, just a brief overview. What you've done a lot. I've known you for a bit, and you're always involved in the city. You're doing something that's always had this super positive spin on things.
Well, I've done a few things. I love my passion is helping kids and working with them, and making their future better in whatever way I can. I want to be the person that I needed when I was younger, and so kind of doing that role. So I'm Springfield Sertoma Club. With that, I've been co-chair of Wingapalooza, stage and media coordinator for the Chili Cook-Off. I created and founded Springfield Prom, which is an adult prom dance party for adults to raise money for children's charities, and have been the chair of Cashew Craze. And then in downtown Rotary is another service club I'm in. I'm the greeter chair there, which means I set up and make sure everybody gets checked in and greeted and welcomed, make sure that's taken care of every week, and then worked on the Rock and Rib liaison for our club for club sponsorship, doing stuff like that.
So you literally have your hands in everything that's going on in Springfield.
No, just the parts that help kids and are really fun.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just everything you were naming off, I've been to all those events, and that's so awesome that you can turn these great events to Springfield Prom. Actually, the first one I went to, you invited me. You said, dude, you're in town. Come on out. I went and danced, had a good time, and Sertoma, the Shriners, everybody involved that you got with that one. Like you said, you created that. That's awesome. That's something great to hear, the fact that, you've been really all about Springfield.
Yeah. I mean, I graduated from Kickapoo, went to Missouri State University for both of my degree programs there, and then stuck around, wanted to stay and make this place even better, especially for, like I said, the kids.
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job. Now, this brings me to the topic of what's been going on. We have this COVID-19. There's been a bunch of lockdown stuff happening. Life isn't just normal right now. We have to make the best of it. And I know there's some businesses out there, doing curbside, stuff like that. Now, the Discovery Center. I know that you guys are doing something a little bit different, but you are open right now, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit different. So back in March, we shut the doors, decommissioned the Science Center, and built out classroom spaces. And then in 5 days, launched as an emergency child care center for healthcare workers and first responders. That's open 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. We provide 3 meals and a snack a day. And we do all that at no cost to those families. So that's what we've been doing for over a month now, actually. Yeah. It's kind of crazy to look back and be like, man, it is.
It's one of those things with everything going on. One, that's crazy awesome that you're doing that, no cost. That's helping out all those people that are, putting themselves on the front line, going to work and, helping people in need. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're helping people in need as well. And the other day when we talked, you have the classrooms all have names, correct? It's kind of like some of the rooms that you have in the Discovery Center already.
Yeah. So the different locations that people are used to, we have different gallery names is kind of what we call them.
Yeah.
So astronomy gallery is the astronomy class. So we just took the name of where they're at in the building and put that on there.
Well, that makes it a little bit more
easy for us to kind of send them around. So the classes don't have that theme to them though. We're doing our STEM education with them. We got a lot of hands-on learning that we're able to do with consumables, disposable items, and then anything that we can still sanitize. Our hamster wheel is still open for the kids. Our indoor mini golf is still open for the kids, and just those things that we can sanitize and keep safe for them in that respect. But they're getting some really awesome educational programming. I was listening to, or I guess I was reading an article, and I've been listening to the experts, I should say, on what they think is going to happen for kids educationally, and what they've seen in a lot of other parts of the world where things like this have happened, where the schooling's gotten disrupted this way. It takes kids about 2.5 years to recover from that. And so for the kids coming here, our goal is that we're making this normal for them. We want them to feel normal and not stressed out, because that's really important to learning, is to feel like safe and secure. And then secondly, we're going to introduce all their same topics they're used to. So while we're focusing a lot on STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, that science lesson, that experiment they're going to do, we're going to wrap that around. And for some kids, they're going to have a writing assignment that goes with that. We're going to pair that with a history lesson. They're going to do some math around that. And so we're doing like this whole holistic approach to learning, where it ties everything around it. It's still fun and exciting, and that brand that people are used to from the Discovery Center, but it's going to keep them, that my hope is to not be behind, to not have to recover. This fall, just take off running.
And that's great, because that's the worst thing, like, I think, out of all of this, that everything just came to a halt. And this is affecting, college students, high school, all that. It just kind of stopped. And, it's cool that you're doing that, and you're putting the Discovery Center spin on it that makes it a little bit more unique. And, I think you're right. I think it'll be super beneficial. And maybe, who knows? Maybe colleges and high schools will take a note from this one and be like, oh, you kids thought you were getting off and not having to learn. Well, thanks to Discovery Center.
There are a lot of great school districts that have been able to adapt to this really well. There's some that, like, admittedly, they've even said, they're like, hey, we're just trying to do our best. This is uncharted territory. There's no rule book, there's no playbook, there's no, just
kind of rolling with it.
You shouldn't touch the books either, too.
Yeah, no, don't touch the books.
Don't touch the books. Please don't touch the books.
No, exactly.
But like, I think we all are going to figure this out, and it's not. I have this saying, it's not ideal, but we're all trying our best, and I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing. Of course, this is airing Monday, so some people might have heard about this. We're going to be doing a graduation ceremony for all of our kids.
Oh.
Because a lot of families, I've seen like this stress that's coming from like missing out on their kids' little graduation from like kindergarten or 5th grade or 8th grade. Where they would have that experience, and man, they're just like so sad that they're not going to get that.
It's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer.
So we're going to do it and we're going to do it in a CDC approved way. We're going to have at pickup, the kids are going to get to put on their cap and gown, and we have a lab coat with the Discovery Center's logo on it for them, and a cap that they get to decorate and keep. And they're going to come through, and we're going to do a ceremony for them. We're going to do it on Facebook Live so that their families and grandparents can see that kid graduate. And then we have a professional photographer coming.
Ooh, awesome.
Who's going to take graduation pictures for them. And I surprised the staff yesterday. I've secretly been working on setting this up we have some kids here that we're going to graduate from college. One kid from high school and the rest from college.
That's so awesome.
And we're going to do a graduation ceremony for them too, since they're here in the building.
How do I get on this? I just want to wear a cap and gown.
Yeah, you could just sneak. You can't sneak in here. I'd catch you.
Yeah, I know. You know who I am. You know what I look like. So
like, hey man,
I'm short, but I'm not that short. I won't.
Like, I'm in kindergarten.
But no, that's awesome that you're even doing that. And I think once again, like you said, with the parents, you kind of noticed that they were bummed out. Rob, that's huge. Like what you're doing for the city of Springfield, the spin that you've put on things, like it goes a long way. Like you just said, you're going to bring in a high school or college student even to do that. Like these are the things that people are missing out on. There was the whole thing on Facebook. I didn't quite understand us posting pictures of our prom and stuff. I didn't get it, but these kids are missing out on a part of their life, like especially seniors, things like that they're never going to get it back. And that's unfortunate, but at least you, and I'm sure there's other companies out there, they're trying to do their best to make the best of it, because like you said earlier, none of us were prepared for this. This is all something we're just kind of going with and adapting to. I think there is some sort of a benefit from it. Like we're learning that all the technology that we have. We're finally really putting it to use for what it's meant to be used for. I'm on Snapchat way more than anything, I can tell you that. Way more filters to make me look pretty, but it's really cool that you and the Discovery.
I think you're pretty all the time.
I try to put on some rouge in the morning just to spicing up my cheeks, but I think what you're doing is great, and it goes even farther. There's other companies in town, whether it be in the food industry, there's a lot of curbside that I know companies are doing. There's a bunch of friends that I have in the industry, and that was another group of people that were totally affected by COVID-19, whichever one you want to call it. It's throwing a monkey wrench in everything, but I think companies are doing their best. There's a lot of local, clothing shops, even downtown, that are, donating back, or if you buy X amount of this, we're kicking it towards that. Like, everybody is really coming together and trying to do what they can to help out the city of Springfield. And that's a great thing to see. And it makes me just kind of happy to know that exists. Like, I've eaten out so much for local business, and I justify it because I'm doing my part.
Like the old Sertoma trick, the buy the beer, but it's for kids. Doing it for kids, man.
Yeah.
Get one more beer at this event.
Yeah, come on. Are you gonna tell a kid no? You're not gonna feed a kid? Come on. It's a guilt trip. That's what it is. And it works. It works every time.
I like it, and I love it. The creativity, the leadership. I think society we're taking notice of people that are gonna do whatever it takes to do what's needed for the community. There's been some tremendous leadership. Clay Goddard with the Springfield Greene County Health Department, and Katie Towns over there, just doing incredible things for our community. You look at people in their different roles and see the incredible things that they're being able to pull off, the ingenuity to keep going. It makes me really proud to be an American and to be in Springfield when you see the people that they're like, we're not, this global pandemic thing, but we're not just going to sit here and take it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to work harder. We're going to sacrifice. We don't surrender. We will beat this thing. And when you have that mentality, you have those leaders that are stepping up and saying that we're going to be able to do this. It's inspiring. It's realistic. Because we aren't going to lose. If you don't surrender, you don't lose.
Yeah, what was it?
Fine. We got this.
Never give up, never surrender. What was that from Tim Allen movie?
Never give up, never surrender.
Yes, that's exactly how it sounds.
It's a Star Trek spoof, and it was hilarious. I loved it.
It was a good one. Yeah,
well, it'll come to me, and I'll yell it out. You'll be like, oh, hey. Wow.
Yes, please do if that comes to you. Now another thing, how we've been discussing, some businesses, like what you're doing, staying open and trying to help. Even with the company TLC Properties that sponsors the podcast, they are doing the same thing. They're still open. It was deemed an essential business because we deal with housing and stuff like that. I working for the company. I work with properties. We're still open. We're still kicking, and we're still leasing apartments. Which is the great thing. So we offer, I know a lot of people are using a lot of virtual stuff now. Same thing what we do. We do a lot of virtual touring. Since we can't really be in front of people, like shaking hands and all that. And, we can't do that. We use the technology that we have, some Teams, Facebook Live, anything that we can that's at our fingertips that we've always had. Now we're utilizing that not just for entertainment on our personal lives, but now we're incorporating that into our business, being able to still do what we have to do, and being there for our residents as well that are already there, and pushing that into continuing trying to grow and still maintain our company. It's turned out into a very interesting thing that I've never done virtual tours before with people trying to lease an apartment. And it's kind of fun. It's a little interesting.
Everything's fun with you, Cuervo.
I like I said, I have the mentality of maybe a third grader. But it's all in how your view is on stuff like that. I've learned that going through this kind of thing that, do I miss seeing people? Yes, I do. But, there's, like I said, there's FaceTime, there's Zoom, all these things that you can get on, and you can still see at least. It's not like the olden days where you had to write a letter and wait for, the Pony Express to get it there in a week. But, it's an adjustment for everybody. And like I said, the Springfield prom thing, I know that the one this year, obviously didn't really go through. And there's a lot of things that got pushed back, but it's sad. Like my birthday's coming up. We may be out of the lockdown, but at the same time, birthdays at this point, I'll be 34. It's just another day. It's just one more gray hair popping in somewhere. But
I will say it beats the alternative. That's what I always say.
Yes. It's like I said, the view, you gotta look at the upside.
If you're not getting birthdays, then that's the problem.
Yeah. That means I'm 33 for another year. I can maintain 33. Yeah. Well, that too.
No, that means you're dead. You're not getting birthdays.
Yeah. No.
So definitely beats the alternative. So full disclosure, TLC has been a sponsor of the Discovery Center. They sponsor our Night at the Museum event every year as well. But I have known, from Springfield, I know TLC. I know what they do for their residents and what they do for the community as a whole, and how they've been there before. And so, often taglines with cities, a great place to live and work. With TLC, and the sort of lockdown scenario that we're in, this self-isolation sort of thing, now you live and work in the same place. For a lot of people, they're living and working. So, like, how much more important is it that you're living at a place that is comfortable, that you love everything about it, And so TLC Properties and what you're doing now is even more important than it ever was before. And so I think people will keep that in mind as they move forward, that where you live is way important.
Home is where you make it. I heard that in Joe Dirt once. But no, you're spot on, and like I said, I think all this, as different as it's been, I think it will come out in maybe a positive light and a different view on things, which I take as that's a win. Like you said, we won't give up. We're going to come out on top. We're going to come out a little bit stronger. And, I think overall we'll be okay. But, Rob, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
So you've been here your whole life. You lived in Springfield. You've done a lot of great things for this city. And, it's something I think you can definitely tell that you're proud of, and that's awesome that you've dedicated basically your life right now to the city of Springfield. Now, this local eating, and what would be... Have you had anything more than just one time? Are you trying to spread it around, helping out local business? Do you have just a go-to?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'm here at the center for 12 to 14 hours a day, so I'm a little bit at the mercy of the food that comes in often.
Yeah.
We have Victory Mission. They have a catering company, and right now they're donating all of our hot lunches. And so I love getting those fresh creations, because they'll get like food donated in to them from places like Springfield Grocers, where they have this food that they need to donate, and then they'll cook something up for us and the kids. And so that's pretty fun, getting to try just random. It's like, hey, what is for lunch today? Yesterday, Garbo's came and celebrated their 30th anniversary by donating pizza to our staff. Big Whiskies is going to, through a grant, be able to do dinners for us moving forward. I see Kai Sushi. They brought over food for us recently.
So you're cleaning up nice.
Bowie. Canodes. But like they brought lunch several times to us through a program that they've been doing, where they've been taking it to the hospitals. They've been taking it to us. It's been really, really great, all the food that's been coming in. I still like to support our local restaurants as well. I am a huge Chinese food buff. Well, the opposite of buff, because I eat a lot of it.
I'm right there with you on that.
You heard of the Freshman 15? Well, my friend, let me hook you up with the COVID-19. This is a 19-pound game that we're all working on right here. It's a short game, too. No full school year to acquire that. I'm trying to do it in 2 months, all right?
Yeah, I've actually lost weight.
What?
I'm down 13 pounds. I'm down 13.
I'm like hitting all of my fitness goals every day, but I gotta say, like, I got some stress, and I'm doing some stress eating.
Yeah.
And having a glass of wine every night is probably not helping anything either.
But sometimes that's needed, just to take the edge off a little bit. But
I just enjoy like wine and beer at night. It's a good time.
I wanted to come out of this and be like, oh wow, what happened to him? I don't know.
Well, I'm proud of you, sir. See, everybody's got their thing going, and some people will just survive this, and that's okay too. Like everybody's making things are different. It's harder for other people, like I think we just need to have a lot of grace and understanding and just be patient, and it'll be fine. But so I hit up a lot of the Chinese restaurants.
How do you feel about Chinese buffets? Do you like Chinese buffets?
I'm not a big buffet person, to be perfectly honest.
No, that's okay.
Back when I was doing the cashew craze thing, which was one of my favorite events ever.
I worked one of those events at the radio station. Yeah.
I love Chinese food so much, but I would go into the judging room specifically to make sure I could eat all the different, 18 different categories. I'd take a bite from each one of the sweet and sour chicken. Sweet and sour chicken's my jam. But I have a favorite egg roll, a favorite egg drop soup,
there's
a favorite crab rangoon. And you have to, if you're like, I need this, I know exactly the place that has the best one on it.
See, I've taken trips to where it's like, okay, I know which one has, I like their Potstickers, I like their soup, I like their lo mein, and I'll hit 3 different restaurants in town just to get what I want.
Canton Inn, they built a pickup window now.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of places have.
They bashed out a wall and put in a pickup window. Their egg roll, they make them by hand there.
Ooh.
A lot of places will order them in, they're from a food distributor, they don't make them in-house. There's a lot of restaurants that do that in town. I love their freaking egg rolls.
Yeah.
That's my comfort food right there.
They are delicious. Well, Rob, I do want to take a minute and just say thank you, one, for everything that you're doing. To anybody listening, a big thank you to a lot of the people that are still out there, especially our heroes at the hospitals, doing what they need to do to basically help us. But Rob Blevins, my co-host today, absolutely killed it in episode 5. Once again, Rob is the executive director of the Discovery Center. You can look him up online. He's got a really pretty picture of himself downtown on the square. And, you've done a lot, and I can't wait to see where you're going to go from here, what you're going to do, because you came to Discovery Center, and when you heard that it may be, going down, you came in and kind of you helped them save the day. So I'm very excited to see where you're going to go from after this COVID-19 lockdown, to see what your next step is. What's the next thing that you're going to do? Springfield Prom, Cashew Craze. You said you're on the boards for so much in downtown Springfield, and that is a great thing to see. And I really can't, as a buddy, I can't wait to see where you're going to go from here. I'm very excited for you, and just want to say thank you for all the hard work and long hours you've been putting in. You've been making a difference with these kids that you're working with. The parents are probably even feeling it. You're just overall, dude, you're awesome. We'll give you that.
Dude, so 2 corrections. First off, Robbie B. Kind of disappointed.
Sorry, I forgot Robbie B.
Robbie B.
Robbie B.
I was just waiting for it, man. So you're going to have to try that one more time on the way out.
Okay.
But then secondly, I would absolutely be wrong and remiss not to take this second to tell you that we have over 50 employees now at the Discovery Center. We had to double our size. We brought people on and trained them in 2 days because we had 5 days to do this conversion thing. So we got them on board. This team that we have, I call them Team Incredible. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, Rob, you're a superhero for what you're doing." I was like, "Well, if I am, then I'm part of the Incredibles family, and it's Team Incredible." To come into this situation, some of them had not been a classroom teacher before, and to become a teacher overnight during COVID-19, and to be able to pull that off every day is truly incredible. I'm super proud of what they've done. And if I look good, it's because I have an amazing team. And that's really all. And on everything that I've ever done, it's not me. It's a we thing. There are people supporting and have had an integral role in that. When I get to say I'm the creator of Springfield Prom, I mean, I've got to give huge love to Nick Love at Love Insurance and Financial for his work in supporting that and being right by my side. John Arante at MediaCom, just absolutely crushing it this year in the planning. We didn't get to have it, but he's got a big Halloween bash coming up. People like you that edify and uplift me. It's not a me, it's a we.
Well, this is also why I like you, because, that's great. And, you're right. You're the team behind you, big ups to them. And Robbie B., DJ Robbie B. Oh, man, I really do appreciate taking the time today. I would love to have you back on as another co-host because, you know, you brought up this Halloween bash now. Now I'm curious. We can do another episode closer we get to that. But Robbie B., thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day to sit down for the Local Lifestyle Podcast. I've enjoyed this one. This will go down in history as one of our longer podcasts, but this one was worth every minute of it because you were very informative about everything. And, you know, we appreciate you taking the time. And like I said, I, as a person, and my company as well, TLC Properties, we're going to be very excited to see what you and your team do with everything here in the near future.
Peace out from Robbie B and the TLC with Cuervo.
Episode 5 right there. Robbie B. Rob Blevins from the Discovery Center, downtown Springfield, Missouri. Episode 5, the Lockdown Lowdown, all brought to you by TLC Properties, Local Lifestyle Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode, episode 6. We'll be dropping all over social media. Later.